Hi everyone, good morning, and I hope you are able to hear us and see us. I am Dr. Sumair. With me, I have Dr. Deepti in our daily Transform series at 10 a.m. So if you are able to hear us and see us, give us a thumbs up.
Yes, a very, very good morning to all our dear students. And how's everyone doing? And let me know if you were able to restart yesterday. Yes, after the transform session, did some of you gather the energy and the willpower to start? And in fact, not just start, we said we will start truthfully and we'll try and do our best. Yes?
And so today, I'll give you the background of my today's video. By chance, yesterday I met two students, different background, and they came to meet me, and both of them had a similar query. One of them was from a private medical college, and one of them was last year did not get a good rank. So both of them, when they were studying, and I asked them, boss, how are you doing your studies, and what are you doing about your upcoming NEET PG? So this first student who is from a private medical college, and she's preparing for the NEET PG this year, and she tells me, sir, I want to study for it, but I'm unable to go all out. I'm unable to go all out, and I think probably I'll give it next year. I said, why not the next 45 days? And she said, sir, I think I'm not good at MCQs. And I heard this statement from the previous student also who had not done well in the last NEET PG. And sometimes what happens is, if we don't do well in our NEET UG exam, we become a prisoner of the thought that, boss, the others are doing very well, maybe they are genius, they know how to crack it, I am not good at MCQs. And now, because of the first heartbreak, you are afraid to go all out again. And I told her that, boss, why are you not studying fully? Sir, what if I don't qualify again? I said, what if you qualify? So the premise that I wanted to talk about today is that whatever has happened in the past is not a future prediction. You can actually improve now if you learn the skill of MCQs. And probably if you look back at the Transform series, every day I am talking about how to approach MCQ and different aspects of the MCQ skills. I am only going to tell you one thing, and I am going to hand over to Dr. Deepti. We all think that maybe only a student from a certain background will do well. But my question to you is, last year NEET PG, a foreign medical graduate was ranked 10. All over India ranked 10. So now, people would tell him, boss, तू तो UG में खराब किया था, तू नहीं कर पाएगा, but he came up with a rank 10. So do you understand the possibilities and the probabilities that how once you learn this skill, you can change the destiny?
Right, absolutely. Okay, so now with the kind of queries that we see in the chat box, okay, there is one thing that I definitely want to ask. How many of you feel that you have already lost? Okay, maybe whatever reason it is, it could be postponement, it could be a news that was very, very disheartening, right? How many of you think that you have lost time and therefore you have also lost the possibility of doing well? Do you feel that you are in that zone? Yes. Okay, I see someone there who is writing me. uh, Now this is very, very important, and I think at some time or the other we all get that feeling, right? So now you need to understand this. There are going to be setbacks, okay, and not every time these setbacks are going to come announced. They are going to be unannounced, and every time a setback is going to come, it is going to make you, go a little backward in your journey. Yes. Maybe because you've lost time, maybe because you've lost enthusiasm, maybe because you feel, you know you don't have that kind of willpower now. So the reasons could be empty number of reasons, but it is going to push you backward in your journey. And that's the time that you have to understand, can we not use it as something which is going to stop us forever, but rather take it as a catapult? Do you all know what a catapult is? Let me know in the chat box. Do you know what a catapult is? Okay, Sumir, is it possible to share a picture of
Let,
a
let me
catapult for
let me
these
try.
bachas? Okay, so we need to understand this. I really need to know if you understand what a catapult is. No, you don't? Okay, we are going to share a picture of that. Okay, and then you will know, you'll get the perspective of what I'm trying to tell you. So I'm just waiting for Dr. Sameer. But yes, today's transform is for everyone who feels because of X, Y, Z reasons. And I'm not going to state the reasons over and over again, but they have been pulled back in their journey and therefore they feel that they have lost it. So now, can you all see what a catapult is? Yes, now everyone, are you all able to see it? And do you see what the catapult was doing, Dr. Sumer, once again? Pulling you backwards. Imagine you instead of that stone or whatever it is. Yes? Do you see that it is pulling it backwards? Yes. And now do you realize when this stone or in place of that I'll put you, when we release that catapult, what is going to happen? You're going to go forward with a new velocity, with a new trajectory, but only and only this will happen when you feel that this halt was a catapult. It wasn't a full stop. Do you understand this? But who can convert this into a catapult? It's only and only you. You have to know that it may have pulled you back, but you can always bounce back with a better energy, with a better trajectory, with a better plan, with better, effort, and you can go even further than someone else who was coming, at a slow pace. Yes, do you understand this? But it has to be in the mindset. So you're not lost as of now unless you feel it here. So this is where we need to change it. Dr. Sumer, your views on it.
Definitely. And I just wanted to add a line. I saw a query by a student, and it actually was a similar query that I had yesterday with the student and his family that I was talking about. So this student is asking, sir, how my family means well, but it is draining. So this is my message for all the parents. And yesterday when I was talking to the child, he had his parent with him, and we were talking. And parent was well-meaning, and he was fully invested into the child's journey. And he was saying, "Boss, what do I do to help him study, or what do I do to help him study?" I said, "Be a parent only." Because the problem now is, for the medical students, it is different from school students. These are all children who are like, high achievers. They want big things in life. They're driven most of the time. They're driven. And, everybody is pushing them and driving them, boss, karna hai, karna hai, karna hai. But you need your parent to, tell, okay, boss, whatever happens, I'm with you. So be a parent is more important than to be a study colleague at this time, because you already have many study colleagues. You have too many thought processes to already cater to. Every day on a YouTube channel, you are hearing us. Then, we are going to talk about study. Then your friends are going to talk about study, or in your library you will see people studying. You put up the YouTube, you see study. So you have study everywhere. You don't want your parent to be that side. So you usually, whenever I am talking to a family, and it happens many times, pre-result, post results, many times people would find a way to talk. And usually what I tell the parent is, well, if the parents are saying, so what do we do to support, be a parent. That is all they need. So, and also from a child's perspective, that is very important, that when you're seeking support from your parents, you seek the support that you would seek from your parent otherwise. you know uh, or there is a chance, like I'll ask you a question, and like suppose my child asks me a question, should I repeat again the paper or not? Should I take what I'm getting or I leave it? Now, you are seeking advice, but the problem is, if you're seeking advice from your parents, parents are biased towards safety. That is a parental instinct. It is like it is ingrained into a parent. So, if a child will say, "Sir, should I repeat? I am getting anesthesia. Probably I wanted medicine all my life. Should I take it or should I repeat?" If you're asking this to your parent, it in your heart that the response will be, take it. So or like we all seek echo chambers. And so we know what, a child would always know, okay, to which parent should I go to get the answer. Like like somebody wants to take radiology, but they don't want to say it themselves. They will find a way to me, and they will say, sir, le ke na le, because I would say le. So our thought mind is like, when you getting affected by others, everybody has their own trajectory in life, their own lives, their own thought processes. What matters is you, and your story is yet to begin. You can make it happen now in the next 45 days. And this is what I wrote yesterday on the Telegram. अगर अगले 45 दिन में 10 ग्रैंड टेस्ट दे दिए, जीत जाएगा. Will you do it or not? अगले 45 दिन पहले जो किया कोई मायने नहीं रखता. So I told this to a child a few days back. Somebody messaged me, sir, I'm starting now. I have never given a grand test. How many should I give? I said 10. Sir, is it enough? मैं बोला उससे ज्यादा कर लेगा क्या? 10 तो कर. 10 मैं गारंटी करता हूं कि 10 करेगा, you will find improvement. So 10 GTs are the mantra that I'm leaving you with.
Okay, I'm going to ask you because I see constant queries that, ma'am, this is what happened in the GT 51 that you told me to give. This is what happened in the mock 8 that you told me to give. Because as I said, I'm constantly giving everyone targets, daily targets also, and at the end of the week also, like there is a bigger target, like a mock or a GT, right? So now I want to ask you, have you seen the zone-wise categorization that I made? Has everyone gone through that? Because that clearly tells you what you need to do and what you need to give priority to, right? It is very essential. So if you want, I can repeat it as well here in one of the transform sessions. But yes, it is essential that you realize which category you belong to, what should be your priorities, what should be the time allocation for your theory, for your MCQs, right? It is essential to understand where are currently placed and what I can do to change my zone. Okay, it is very simple. If you are always in one zone, it's like a circle. Let's imagine your path like a circle. If you are only doing what you have been currently doing, you will always remain in that particular circle. And I hope you remember somewhat of physics and mathematics that if you have to move out, you need a different velocity. And once you achieve that, you reach to the other zone. Yes, so it is very essential that we identify where we are currently, what is the gap, what should I give priority to, and that will bring me to the next zone. ठीक है? नहीं तो क्या होगा? We are all going to plateau at some level. The level is different for everyone. For someone it's like 120, for someone it's 110, for someone it's 130, for someone it is 140, right? So everybody needs to see that zone-wise categorization. You can, I will post it again in my Telegram channel, and all of you can see it there as well. So it's Obs and Gynae with Dr. Deepti Bahel, and I'll share it again for you. But those are the things that you really need to do. I have talked about all those tiny details in the zone-wise categorization. Okay. Yes, Dr. Sumer is going to be back. He just thought that I'm talking. Okay, now, yes, absolutely, yes. We currently have 3 targets going on. So we have MIQs. They are free for everyone. Everyone needs to attend those. You can use those to cover up the subjects in a schedule as well. There are DBT tests that are going on, yes, which are again primarily focusing on your revision. And apart from that, there are transform 10x tests going on. So the purpose is that you could use these to make your daily targets as well as try multiple things in a day as well as achieve the required number of MCQs in a day, especially in a test format, which is made by not you, but by the faculty.
So, like, let's imagine a scenario, and let's become now, like, suppose we time travel, and you all have now passed your NEET PG, and you are giving an advice to, and I want you to write in the chat box also, you are giving advice to a junior who is, not serious about study, but it has 45 days to prepare for NEET PG. It's not about you. You've already passed. You're talking to a junior. What advices will you give to the junior? What will you see? यू विल से बॉस रिवीजन कर लियो, हाई यील्ड देख ले, अभी बड़े बड़े चीजों में मत जा, हाई यील्ड देख ले. ओके, एंड सो व्हाट हाई यील्ड? अरे बेटा डीवीटी देख लेते हैं, वो ज्यादा बढ़िया रहेगा, 7 दिन में हो जाता है, 2 बार कर लेते हैं. सो माई गोल फॉर यू इज 2 times DVT, 2 times DVT.
That's the
आई सी वन
minimum
बच्चा राइटिंग
requirement.
इन द
दो
चैट
बार
ऑफ,
minimum है.
एक बच्चे ने लिखा है बहुत ही खूबसूरत अपना चैट में, भाई पढ़ ले. अब बच्चे अपने लिए वापस बोल रहे इसको. दूसरा है ना, एक बहुत सारे बच्चे कह रहे डीवीटी कर ले, डीवीटी कर ले. नाउ सी द सेकंड थिंग, गिव 10 GTs इन 45 days. अभी मैं बता रहा था तो समझ नहीं आ रहा था, अभी किसी और को बताना है तो अपने को सब समझ आ गया. बिकॉज व्हेन वी टॉकिंग अबाउट अदर्स प्रॉब्लम्स वी बिकम मोर फोकस. नाउ यू नो दैट वी हैव टू गिव ग्रैंड टेस्ट इन द फाइनल फेज. ओके, एंड द थर्ड थिंग इज कि हमें पीवाईक्यू और डीवीटी जरूर देखने चाहिए, विच इज अगेन इंपॉर्टेंट. बट आई वॉन्ट यू टू हैव विद अ पिंच ऑफ सॉल्ट. NEET PG 2024 was different from all other NEET PGs. There were not many PYQs in the last NEET PG. There were not many PYQs in the last NEET PG. Can you keep it in head? तो सिर्फ
Yes.
PYQ करके नहीं जा सकते, ये इन्हीं सेट का पेपर नहीं है. In the INI-SET paper, they tend to repeat the topics more. NEET PG, they tend to surprise. Look at the NEET UG this year. I'm sure you have heard it from your भाई एंड बहन जिनका रिजल्ट आया होगा कल, एंड सब खुश हो रहे होंगे डॉक्टर बनने के लिए. आप परेशान हो रहे हो, वो खुश हो रहे हैं. यू नो, सो दैट्स द एंड एंड बिगिनिंग ऑफ द जर्नी स्टोरी. उनसे पूछना इस बार फिजिक्स कैसा आया, टफ आया. वो सोच रहे थे पीवाईक्यू के जैसा आएगा, ऐसा नहीं है. सो व्हेन यू लुक एट द डैम सीबीटी, you will see in the CBT grand test, you will always feel there is a titration happening all the time. Some papers are made slightly more tough, slightly less tough, slightly new questions, slightly more PYQs. We keep titrating so that you will not have any surprise in the real exam. So reason I'm saying is many students they keep asking, sir आप बोलते हो डैम्स का जीटी देना है, सर आप क्यों कह रहे हो कि मैं डैम्स का जीटी बाकी क्यों ना दूं? भाई मुझे मेरे का पता है ना, मुझे मेरे का पता है, मेरा सिस्टम में मैंने बना रखा है, मुझे पता है कि ये एक डिफिकल्टी लेवल मैंने कैसे वेरी किया है. तो अगर आप रैंडमली कर रहे हो कि कभी मेरा कर रहे हो, कभी कुछ कर रहे हो, कुछ, तो फिर तेरे जो तूने मेरा एक किया, जरूरी नहीं है कि दैट वाज द थिंग दैट आई वांटेड यू टू लर्न. आई वांटेड टू लर्न फ्रॉम द 5 GTs, different difficulty levels, different methodologies that we have put in, and we make sure that every GT is made by at least 20 teachers. हर जीटी कम से कम 20 टीचर कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं, डीवीटी 30 टीचर कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं. सो इट्स लाइक बिगर देन अ मेडिकल कॉलेज दैट वी डिलीवर यू नो ऑन दैट प्लेटफॉर्म. सो मुझे गोल क्या होता है कि अगर एक टीचर 5 GT बना रहा होता है, सो आई ट्राई टू पुट न्यूमोथोरैक्स इन वन, pneumoperitoneum in one. You can predict the next paper also. Then a pneumocephalus in one, and like so and so forth. I try to divide my topics so that anybody who is appearing for all the GTs should revise the entire subject. But if you do only one here, you are creating a trouble and you're randomly going into different resources thinking कि उसमें कुछ सोना है, सोना नहीं, सोना तेरे पास है. ठीक है? Try to use that, and that is what I wanted you to use. कि 10 GTs DVT. अच्छा, अब अगला एडवाइस बता दो, क्या कहोगे? अगला एडवाइस क्या है? अगला एडवाइस
I
that you
have
will
to
tell
take
your
a few queries also.
I'll take it. So, but agla advice is very critical. You will tell your junior only giving grand test is not enough. You need to analyze and listen to the video solutions of your mistakes. It is a game changer. जब तक मैं मेरी गलतियां टीचर की आवाज में नहीं सुनूंगा कैसे बनेगी बात. Okay, so okay, and I see some बच्चas are now getting very emotional about their juniors. एक बच्चा कह रहा है सर अपने जूनियर को बोलूंगा अच्छे से खाना पीना सोना. बच्चे वो तो बात ठीक है, वो तो उसके मम्मी पापा बताएंगे, सीनियर ने क्या बताना है वो बताएं. ओके.
Okay, so now we'll take up a few queries. There was a final year student with us in the chat box with the name of Pantoprazole. So yes, I'm going to answer your query. Beta, in DAMS, there is a sequence that we want you to follow, right? So you are saying once you have done a subject with us, what should you do then? So the first thing we want you to do if you are in your undergraduation is, yes, while you are doing a subject, okay, you should do topic wise MCQs from DQB. Suppose you are doing obs and gynae with me and you have done PCOS, please go and do the PCOS MCQs from the app, right? So DQB se karo. So this is while you are doing the subject. Once you have finished the subject, your first goal should be class test. It's very, very essential. Class test is like the TND for other people, right? So you have to do the class test. It will tell you the must know topics, the common errors, the important topics, the PYQs. They would be covered when we give you the class test, and they come with video discussions, right? The next limb will be, if you want to do that subject again, then we will ask you to use a different test paper to go for a retrograde revision. So if you have covered your class test, next time I would want you to do a SWT or maybe a TND as well. And then I will keep adding different tests to your course. At DAMS, we have like a 5 or 6 level testing. Okay. So we will then add mock test to it. We will add grand test to it. We can add various mini tests that are available whenever you want to review that subject. लेकिन अभी सबसे important है final year में do your final year subjects as if you are doing them for the last time. Side by side cover DQB, and after you finish the subject, do the class test with videos. Okay, that will be very useful for you.
And what we would totally say is that there is like a change in gear that you need to do in your exams when you're preparing for a competitive exam. The first phase has to be more content and concept incentive. We have to be more go on to concepts, theory, lectures, live teaching. You have to do all those things. The second phase has to become more MCQ, focused, along with more focus on revision. So now in the final 45 days, your focus is MCQ. MCQ not in the MCQ format, in the test format and revision. So that is why I'm stressing on DVT, I'm stressing on previous year questions, I'm stressing on your grand test. So this is my advice. But one advice I want to give you, because that will happen every year, मैं जरूर बताना चाहता हूँ. 12 जुलाई को ना हम CBT कर रहे हैं. उसकी एक लास्ट डेट है रजिस्टर करने की, क्योंकि आपने देखा है सरकार भी जब कंप्यूटर बेस्ड टेस्ट करती है उनको महीनों चाहिए होते हैं बुकिंग करने के लिए. मुझे भी कुछ टाइम चाहिए होता है कि अगर आपका बुकिंग आ रहा है तो मुझे सेंटर्स बुक करने होते हैं ऑल ओवर इंडिया. सो देयर इज अ कट ऑफ डेट बियॉन्ड विच वी आर अनेबल टू टेक. और मेरे पास हर दिन हजारों बच्चों का रिक्वेस्ट आता है डेट खत्म होने के बाद, अरे सर मैंने सोचा था करूंगा लेकिन रह गया. सो डोंट मिस आउट ऑन रजिस्टरिंग फ्रॉम फॉर डैम्स CBT. It would happen on 12th of July, but the cutoff date will be much before that. उसके आगे फिर हम बुकिंग नहीं ले पाते. So just don't forget it, because it becomes very hard on me and Dr. Deepti when many students are requesting. बच्चे रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं सर प्लीज एक दिन के लिए और दे दो, एक दिन, लेकिन मैं कर नहीं सकता क्योंकि फिर वो सेंटर नहीं बुक हो पाता.
सेंटर नहीं मिलता हमें. यस. अच्छा, अब कुछ चीजें आई वुड लाइक टू रिपीट बिकॉज आई एम गेटिंग द क्वेरीज एंड दे आर इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेरीज. The first question is, how do we ensure about the GT marks? So I've always said, especially even yesterday I said, you should alternate one GT and one NEET PG mock. The reason is we want you to have a good coverage and also to give papers of varying difficulty, right? The most important thing that you need to understand in the test paper is, when we talk about difficulty in DAMS, it is never going to be about unique things. Okay, it is going to be about very close options. And then when the options are very close, you need to have better content, because you need to identify or read finer print, identify the keywords, and then approach the question, right? So give one GT alternating with a mock, right? I will give you target every Sunday. So if you are with me, give me a V sign. Okay, I'm going to give you a GT or a mock target every Sunday, and you have to do it every Sunday. By that method, we will be able to reach around 9 GTs for sure. But you have to promise me. I've already been giving it from last 2 Sundays. Okay, last to last Sunday it was mock 8. This Sunday I gave you the target of GT 51. Every Sunday we will keep a GT or a mock target, and I'm going to alternate, and I'm going to evaluate for you if you want me to do that. We will follow the zone wise advice. Okay, zone 1, 2, 3. The second query is, ma'am, अगर मेरा एक बार पहले zone 2 आया था या 3 आया था, but now I am again in zone 2, क्या करना है? I would say, even if your marks increase or decrease in one GT, follow the same advice for another GT. But if for 2 consecutive GTs it is falling, then yes, you need to change your zone. Suppose किसी का पहले 140 था या 145 था and they were in zone 3. Now they've got 130 correct. So I will say still follow zone 3. But if in the next GT you have again fallen to 130 only, that means this is the current level. So now I will say follow the zone 2 advice. So two consecutive GTs, you follow the same zone. But if it is falling or it is rising consecutively two times, then we will change the zone. Is that clear to everyone? Yes? Okay. The other important advice, how to use the TND. Now, very often I will ask my students when they ask me, ma'am, what to do, I ask them a question in return. Okay. So you can all listen to this and answer it. My first query is, do you think you have done your content well? Which means, have you read it at least twice? Matlab, I have given one reading of LRR and I have given one more reading of LRR. So two revisions sort of you have done. Because first revision is actually a rereading only. So if you have done the LRR twice, okay, then yes, you feel you know the content, but somehow you are not able to reach the correct number of, correct questions. Then yes, you are a person where the problem is application of your content, and doing a TND would be very, very useful. Okay. If you are someone who has only read their notes once, you haven't done LRR, then I will recommend first do LRR. And actually, LRR and TND can go hand in hand. Okay. You can revise from LRR in a stipulated time and then you can give the test paper of that subject. Okay. So this is how you decide. Should I give priority to TND first or should I actually go ahead and do LRR first? So this depends on the number of readings you have given, but they can very well be used together. Okay.
Now, one of the things that I wanted you to do is whenever you are appearing for the grand test, during the grand test, in the middle of it, when you are giving a paper, in the middle of it, there is a moment of truth. In that moment of truth, you know, "ये साला मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा है. I am unable to recall." Do you really understand? That means मैंने revise नहीं किया है. पता होता है moment of truth, and you know मुझे अभी DVT देखने की जरूरत है. But by the time we come out of the GT, we like अच्छा यार ये तो silly mistake थी. But during the exam, there is a moment of truth where we know कि boss मेरा problem क्या है. So one thing I want you to do is whenever you're giving a paper exam, and I do it all the time, keep a piece of paper with you. During that moment of truth, you know something, just scribble it down, a message for yourself. You will find it very useful. These moment of truth happen in a classroom also. Whenever you're sitting in a classroom, and I see many children come back to me over the years and say, sir, class में आया तो पता चला कि अरे सर ऐसे पढ़ना था. So, you know, but then you forget. You say, "अरे मुझे तो सब पता ही था." You go out and you forget. This is during the event. It happens that you have a moment of truth. Write it down. For me, my moment
Okay.
of truth sometimes happens early in the morning. I get up in the night. I'm like, "Oh shit, this is what I should have been doing." I scribble it down. Otherwise, I'll forget in the busyness of the routine. So that is one thing. Second thing is during the grand test, you need to titrate your skill and the way you will give your paper. अभी मैं एक बच्चे से बात कर रहा था, उसने बोला, सर पिछले इन्हीं सेट में मैंने 200 के 200 अटेम्प्ट किए हैं और मेरा तो कोई रैंक नहीं आया. आई सेड, बेटा जो आप 200 अटेम्प्ट कर रहे हो, ये इस बार का एनी सेट पेपर, एंड आई एम श्योर मोस्ट ऑफ यू इन द चैट वुड एग्री, वाज नॉट इजी. इट वाज टफ. इट वाज अ टफ पेपर. Do you remember? It was a tough paper. And the rank 1, 2, 3, they were on 190, 195, 196. This was the kind of attempt. You had done 200. So I asked the student के बॉस, इस 200 में से क्या कुछ ऐसे क्वेश्चन थे जिसका आपको कोई भी आइडिया नहीं था लेकिन आपने मार्क किए? उसने कहा, हाँ सर वो तो ऐसे तो बहुत सारे थे. मैंने, वो नहीं ठीक होते. वो नहीं ठीक होते. यू हैव टू मेक एजुकेटेड गेस, नॉट अ ब्लाइंड गेस. ये इंकी पिंकी पोंकी पो से नहीं चलेगी बात. सो माई सजेशन टू यू इज टाइट्रेट योर स्किल. In one
Okay.
GT, go more aggressive. In one GT, go more defensive. Try to see how your number of corrects change so that by the time you reach the 11th GT, which is going to be a real exam, 10 तो एग्जाम्स के देगा ना, 11 रियल एग्जाम होगा, you should have honed your skill.
Okay, quick, a few queries. Somebody is saying, I feel more confident with main notes. Can I read main notes? Absolutely, yes. Please understand, DAMS के main notes gold हैं. Nothing can come close to that. And when I say that, I mean it, not because I am from DAMS or I, whatever, but our main notes are absolute gold. Every word of it is important. That is why when we asked the teachers to make LRR, they made it from the main notes itself. Okay. Unlike other places where, the main notes are absolutely non-doable and people need some shorter things. Uh, if you are confident with main notes and you're able to do them at a faster pace, you can absolutely stick to your main notes. Okay. The purpose of LRR is that certain people are not able to do it by themselves at a fast pace because they don't know what to ignore in the second reading. That is why what teachers did in LRR was, when they were converting main notes into LRR, we realized that we have already given the students concepts. So now we are not writing all the concepts there. It was core content, right? So that is the difference between main notes and LRR. But if anybody has their photogenic memory of main notes, or if they feel that this is what they will be able to do at a faster pace, please stick to it. राइट हमने अपना LRR ही खुद अपने मेन नोट से बनाया है. आई थिंक the main notes are absolute gold. You mention a thing, you will find it there. They're yet very doable, very concise and super high yielding. ठीक है. दूसरी चीज, can LRR be used by students of other institutes or whatever? I saw that query. Absolute yes. As I said, LRR is something which will not have anything unique. If you have read the subject once but you're not confident about the content, yes, LRR is super helpful. It's like the middle path. Okay, it is not very short because you can't go very superficial with the kind of exams that we are getting now. It is theory based, so anyone whose content is weak should do it theory based. So anyone can use it. You will find it that there is no unique stuff there, but still it will have everything that you need to actually approach a MCQ. DVT का purpose है to give you in the format and in the way it is asked in the exam, right? Where you would need, अच्छा next step बताओ, algorithm में we have done this, what should you do now? Image दिया है, identify करो या image के बारे में कुछ बताओ. Clinical vignette है तो आपको keywords चाहिए, one liners आ गए. So DVT is the format the way you will get it in the exam. So DVT is a must to closer to the exam. Last 15-20 days, it's just DVT and wrong diary. Okay?
अच्छा, एक बच्चे ने पूछा है कि सर FMG एस्पिरेंट हूँ, मेरे को क्या LRR करना है? I think Vishav बेटा, I think yesterday also I answered this query. I am repeating it again. FMG बच्चों के लिए the course that we have made is called as DFX, which is ongoing right now. It is available on the app as well as it is available face to face in the DAMS Gautam Nagar Center. So FMG वाला बच्चे का जो revision course है उसका नाम है DAMS FMG Express. We call it DFX with a very high strike rate in the real exam. So आप LRR skip कर सकते हैं, आप DFX को add कीजिए साथ में. It will be your game changer. It will help you a lot in the real exam. Okay. And also I see some queries in the chat which are like कि सर GT में नींद आ गई, असली एग्जाम में थर्ड फोर्थ ब्लॉक तक मैं थक गया था. Then you know your moment of truth. You know that we are unable to
Exactly.
concentrate for longer time, and that is my villain in my life. I need to solve it. I'll quickly give you a line, and it's very important. Recently, a researcher has written that due to extensive availability of social media and the phone now, many of us have developed a popcorn brain. पॉपकॉर्न ब्रेन मतलब जैसे पॉपकॉर्न फूटता रहता है ना, वैसे ब्रेन में हमारे बार बार इम्पल्स फूटती रहती है. विशेष फोन उठा ले, नोटिफिकेशन चेक कर ले, इंस्टा चेक कर ले, ट्विटर चेक कर ले, दुनिया तो नहीं खत्म हो गई, पॉपकॉर्न. सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज बिकॉज ऑफ दिस पॉपकॉर्न ब्रेन नाउ whenever it has to go steady and calm, it becomes very difficult because we are not used to it. I would always suggest that whenever you're studying, put your phone on a airplane mode. Whenever you're giving a GT, give it at one go. जब भी क्लासरूम में आते हो तभी उसी कारण फेस टू फेस क्लासरूम में भी कई बार आप देखोगे आपका कंसंट्रेशन ज्यादा अच्छा बनता है क्योंकि फोन उठा नहीं सकते. उठा के आपके मन में एक डर होता है ना, पब्लिक ह्यूमिलेशन ना हो जाए, कहीं टीचर ना बोल दे भाई फोन रख दे. यू नो दिस. जब लेकिन अकेले में जब पढ़ रहे होते हो ना तो पॉज किया, इंस्टा चला लिया, पॉज किया, ये क्या. तो कभी कभी इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू नो कि माई कंसंट्रेशन एबिलिटी माइट बी माई विलन विच आई एम इग्नोरिंग.
Okay. So today, what promise are we going to take? So today's promise is going to be we are going to try and stay off social media. Okay. Today, as a reward, so I can't make it zero. It has to be a gradual withdrawal. So today, I am going to give you only and only, okay, a maximum of 1.5 hour for your social media. Why, ma'am? How did you come to the magic number of 1.5 hour? 30 minutes morning, 30 minutes afternoon, 30 minutes evening plus night. That's it. So you're going to promise me today that when you are making targets for what you will study in the morning, what you will study in the afternoon, and what you will study in the evening, after you have finished your target, you will give yourself a reward like a 10-minute social media break. ठीक है? So आज everybody is going to promise we are going to limit. I know I can't say zero. Okay, everyone. I will also try and do it. That's a promise because I personally believe I have to give targets which are doable to these students. So may stop smiling. Okay, so I will also try and do it when I give you targets. Yes, so I will also try and limit my social media today to a maximum of 1.5 hour. 30 minutes morning, 30 minutes afternoon, 30 minutes evening and night, and that too as a reward basis. ठीक है? Reward का मतलब समझते हो? मतलब when you have finished your target, after finishing it, you will give yourself a 10-minute social media break only as a reward. Okay, I promise I will do the same. ठीक है? And then we will
Lovely.
talk about it tomorrow. Is that a promise, everyone? So, what are we going to write? Social media breakup promise. We are going to break up with our social media. Yes, so everybody in the chat box will write social media breakup promise. And we are going to celebrate that breakup, not cry over it. Okay? At least एक breakup ऐसा होना चाहिए जिसपे we don't cry over, right? We should be celebrating it. So, social media breakup promise. Okay, we are all going to do this. I will also
Also,
type.
I just add a line here because as students you can make it bigger as well. Because last time when we were discussing this, somebody said कि सर ये अगर मैं social media से हट गया, मैं तो आपकी वीडियो के लिए आ रहा हूँ. So what we have done now is to help you out. This everyday morning video is also going live on the DAMS app. Now we have created a full platform on the app where a daily case is also happening. A daily live is happening in the morning. We are building a very exciting new tools for you. And also, I'm very happy to share with you that on the daily quiz and the daily case, sometimes, we have thousands of comments in a day. So are you participating in the daily case? Yes or no? Are you participating in the daily case on the app? If you're not, please start doing it. It will increase your knowledge without your knowing. And also, if you switch off all the social media, don't panic. We would be there. You would not miss out on any important information. कुछ भी important information आएगी अपन अपने ऐप के ऊपर ही लाइव आके आपको बता देंगे.
So आज हम ये सब ट्राई करेंगे और टू कमिट मैंने भी चैट में डाल दिया है और डैम्स की तरफ से जो कमेंट आया वो मेरी तरफ से है. So I have also committed the social media breakup promise. We will do it. Okay. So let's do this today. Let's try. Also, I am going to give you a very special target for this Sunday GT. जिसमें I will ask all my students not only to give the GT, I will ask all of you to give the GT with certain methodology. We are all going to practice that methodology, which is simply based on MCQ skill, things that I have told you before. So I will tell this on the Saturday wala transform, everyone. Okay, Sunday को हम transform करेंगे कि नहीं वो हम decide करेंगे. But in the Saturday wala transform, I will give again those key pointers which I want you to follow as MCQ skill, and everybody on the coming Sunday will give a GT or mock, whatever target I give, based on those things. Because मैं ऐसा बोलती हूँ कि एक बार या इतनी बारी you have done what you felt was right. एक बार मेरी मान के देख लो. So मेरी मानोगे? And we will see what happens to the number of correct questions. इससे ना हमें पता लगेगा वेरी स्ट्रांगली, इज माई प्रॉब्लम द स्किल, मोर ऑफ द स्किल इशू, और इज माई प्रॉब्लम मोर ऑफ कंटेंट इशू. ठीक है. सो सैटरडे को वी विल टॉक अबाउट दीज थिंग्स. आई विल गिव यू द टारगेट फॉर संडे एज वेल. एंड संडे को हम सब जीटी देंगे विद दोज बेसिक methodology of doing an MCQ, and then we will review our number of correct questions. ठीक है. तब तक we will follow daily targets, we will keep revising what we are doing, and we will meet, we will talk about this little thing on Saturday transform session. ठीक है. So आज के लिए we will stop with the note on social media breakup promise. We want to stay away from it, so we will limit it initially to 1.5 hours, spread over the entire day. It's not like सारा खर्च कर दिया एक साथ. खर्च करने से पहले कमाना पड़ेगा. कैसे कमाओगे बताओ? By meeting your targets. So if you want to spend time, you have to earn that time. To earn, you will have to meet your targets for the day. Okay?
And the only thing I will tell to you is, yesterday, I think 2 days back on Twitter, a student tagged me, and the student said, "Sir, I am 27-year-old. I always wanted to do surgery. I am getting surgery in INICET paper through INICET. Should I take surgery? I always wanted surgery, but I'm 27-year-old." So I am here to tell you, I told that student on Twitter also. I said, "What if you live up to 90? What if you live up to 90, do you want to live next 63 years of your life regretting that you did not do what you wanted to do? Your story is not over. It is about to begin. Stop looking at कि देर तो नहीं होगी, देर नहीं हुई, अभी तो शुरुआत हुई है. On that note, wish you all the best. Have a great productive day ahead, and please remind yourself, अपना टाइम आएगा नहीं, अपना टाइम अपन खुद लाएगा.
Take care everyone. Love and blessings to all.